Hey you guys, it is Wednesday again, so I'm coming to you live to give you a Wednesday live chat. And today's video is all about preparing for the end of the semester. So the end of the semester kind of comes with two feelings, right? Excitement that it's almost over and you can rest and refresh yourself for the next semester and start fresh then. But then there's also the feeling of there's so much that I need to get done by the end of the semester. So things like final exams, papers to write, presentations to give, research to make headway on, classes to maybe you may have to write an exam or proctor exams or grade exams. There's just so much that has to get done. Maybe you even want to apply for a certain number of jobs by the end of the semester and that deadline is approaching. Maybe you need to register for conferences. So many things that should get done by the end of the semester. So it can be so overwhelming. So in today's video, I just want to talk about making a plan for the end of the semester. So two things: why you should make a plan, and then how you're going to make the plan. And so I'm also going to walk you through how to use the end of the semester strategic roadmap that I created. So this, if you want this, you can print it off. I put the link in the description of this video. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's talk about why you should prepare for the end of the semester. All right, so why you need a strategy, there are three reasons, all right? And none of them are necessarily grad school reasons, but you need sleep, you need to eat healthy, and you need some me time. And all three of those things kind of like fall to the wayside when you don't have a plan for the end of the semester, because you're just going, working, because there's so much studying and things to get done by the end of the semester. So let's start with the first one. Number one reason why you need a strategy for the end of the semester is because you need sleep. Right? You need to have time to sleep, even though it's a very stressful time and you have so much going on. You don't want to be staying up multiple days, staying up straight like through the night for multiple days. All right, so getting a full night's rest. So whatever that means for you, whatever a full night's rest, have 6 or 8 hours, whatever that means, try to get that as much as possible, as many nights as possible towards the end of the semester. All right, so I was doing research for this, and so I learned that when we're sleeping, our brain does not shut down and rest with us, right? Our brain doesn't go into sleep mode while you're sleeping. It's actually a very active time for our brain, and we actually need it while we're sleeping. So the thing that I learned, I'm reading this from my computer screen, sleep is an active time for our brains where a lot of processing, restoration, and strengthening occurs. So processing information, restoring, and strengthening your brain and your mind and your body. And those are three things that we definitely need at the end of the semester. So you definitely need to be able to get your sleep so that those things can happen. You can feel refreshed and you can learn, absorb, and be productive in the day. Right? So the second thing, or the second reason why you should come up with a strategy for the end of the semester is because you need to eat well. Like, you don't have to eat salads every day, but you should eat meals every day. So it's so easy to be caught up in studying and working and be in the groove, and you realize, oh man, I didn't pack a lunch, or it's late, I'm just going to get a quick snack. And so you kind of end up surviving on snacks and never really having a balanced full meal at the end of the semester. So definitely you need a strategy so that you can have time to actually think about eating, and so that you can eat real meals, full balanced meals every day while you're preparing and planning for the end of the semester. And then finally, me time. So I talked about burnout. Was it last week, I think, when I talked about burnout? But one of the easiest ways to experience burnout is when you never set aside time for yourself, right? So if you don't make any time for yourself and you're just working, you can experience burnout. And I talked about how bad burnout was for you last week, as well as how to relieve burnout. And one of those ways was finding time for yourself. All right, so you need a strategy for the end of the semester so that you can have time for yourself even during that hectic time. Right? So time to do exactly what you want to do and things that help you refresh and make you feel like yourself. That's so valuable and so important, especially during the end of the semester when everything is just going, and you're just doing so much stuff, so much studying, so much preparing, so much research. All right, so much everything. You need to be able to find time for yourself, and you're not going to be able to do that if you don't have a plan or a strategy for the end of the semester. Everything's just going to be coming at you and you won't have any relief. So that's why you need a plan to get that together. All right, so let's talk about how to create a strategy for the end of the semester. So these are the steps that you need before you can fill out the end of the semester roadmap. All right, so the first thing, so the way we start is at the end. So think about the end goal of the semester. So the very last week of school or the semester, what do you have to do? Do you have finals? Do you have papers? Do you have presentations that you have to present? Do you have to grade? Do you have to proctor? Do you have to create tests? Do you have to work? So what are the things that happen at the end of the semester that you need to get prepared for? So when you think of those things, write them all down in a list, no matter how many there are. It's good for you to see how many there are. So maybe there's less than you think or there's more than you think. Both are good to know. So write down all of the things that you have to do at the end of the semester. All right, so finals, papers, all that stuff. All right, so then what you're going to do is prioritize that list. So I'm all about prioritization. So go through the list of all the things you need to do and figure out what are the 3 most important things. What are you going to put all of your effort and time into? Is it this one course that you've been struggling with the whole time, so you need the final exam to boost your grade? Is it working on your research because you said you were going to complete so much research this semester, but you haven't done it? Is it preparing a presentation of your research for some type of conference or seminar? What are the things that are most important to you at the end of the semester, and prioritize those things? So you can just put like a star or an asterisk or something, or highlight it, whatever you want, circle it, the 3 things that are most important. All right, so after you've prioritized, then you need to figure out how you're going to manage your time. So you need to think about those 3 things. How long will it take to do those 3 things? How long will it take to prepare to do those 3 things? And how much time do you need? Do you need days? Do you need weeks? That'll help you figure out when you need to start working on those things. All right. So, and also, can you start prepping for these things now? Like right now, can you start preparing yourself to complete those things by the end of the semester? All right, so number 4, figure out what needs to get done now, right? So these are all the things that are still happening in the semester. So finals are coming up. What do you still have to do? Is there a test coming up in the class before the final exam? Are there a couple more papers to write before the end? What are all of the things? So check out your planner and your schedule and your email and your syllabi and figure out what are the things that I have to get done. How many more classes do you have to teach before the end of the semester? You need to prepare 7 more lectures before the end of the semester. So think about all of those things and write them down. What are the things that you have to get done now before you can start or complete those end result goals at the end of the semester? All right, and then finally, we can come up with the plan. All right, so now that we know what we need to get done, how long it's going to take, the stuff that we need to get done first, we can actually schedule out all of these events and tasks and figure out and create a plan, which will be our strategy for the end of the semester. All right, so let's talk about the strategy. So I actually broke this up into weeks. So these are the remaining weeks of the semester starting next week. So what we want to do is look at everything we've just written down and figure out how long it's going to take. So is something going to take you 3 weeks? Is it going to take you a few days? Do you want to get it done now, or can you get it done later at the end? So what you want to do is figure out 2 or 3 things that you want to focus on each week until the end of the semester and write them down. So let's say you have a class that you're really struggling in and you need to kind of refresh yourself. So something to do now is go back to the beginning of the semester. Figure out those things you missed. Figure out those things that were confusing. Set up office hours, right? You can do that in the next 2 weeks and get yourself caught up little by little each week. All right, so maybe you have lectures to teach. Maybe you want to prep those classes starting now. Prep 2 classes each week, or actually that wouldn't be right. Prep 2 classes, I don't know, every 2 days. That's not right either. Prep maybe 4 classes each week. So then you kind of split your time and you can get them all prepped before the end when you're trying to study. So what else? Other things like your research. What types of things do you want to get done in your research each week? All right, so try not to pick more than 3 things to focus on each week and add them. Here, you can either write this down for yourself or you can click the link and print this out. What I would do is I would fill this out and put it up on my wall in my office, or take a picture of it, put it as a background of my phone or my computer, just so I can see it all the time and know exactly what I need to be working on every single week. All right, so that is how you use the end of the semester strategic roadmap and how you plan and prepare yourself for the end of the semester, starting right now. So if you do it now, you'll have less to do later when it's super overwhelming, and because things pop up and things happen. It's okay if your plan doesn't exactly work out, but at least you know the things that you need to get done and you've written them down and you can see them. All right, so that is all for today. Let me know if you have any questions. Check out the end of the semester roadmap, as well as the blog post I just wrote on this very same topic if you want to see everything I said written down in a maybe more clear way. All right, have a wonderful day. Bye.